1. All right. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to another episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live. My name is Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Today we're answering the question, can I become a citizen if I have a criminal record? All right. Can I become a citizen if I have a criminal record? And so, thank you for tuning in. Welcome. And as always, the Empowered Immigrant Live is here to train, teach, inspire, and empower immigrants to make the most out of immigration laws and to make the most out of their lives. And today our theme is, can I become a citizen if I have a criminal record? So thank you for being here. And my question for you, as always, is do you want to apply for citizenship this year? Do you want to apply for a green card this year? Do you want to at least see what your options are this year? Because if so, go for it. And I'd love to help you with that. My firm is on a mission to win 10,000 immigration cases in the next 10 years. We'd love for your case to be one of them. All right? As I'm talking about the topic, we'll get into citizenship and we'll talk about it in just a moment. As I'm doing that, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me your questions. I'll do my best to answer them right here, right now, live. All right? And and welcome everybody, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, welcome. Thank you all so much for being here. One of the most fun things that I get to do is help green card holders apply for citizenship, create new citizens. Our citizenship cases right now are moving along very quickly. And so, if you have a green card, if you'd like to explore your options to become a citizen, we'd love to help you. All right? So who's eligible to naturalize? And we'll go through that. 8 basic requirements. First, you have to have had your green card for 5 years. Or you can do it early. There's a 3-year rule if you're living in marital union with a U.S. citizen. The time with your green card's first requirement. Second requirement is your green card has to have been lawfully gotten. All right, so make sure that when you got your green card, it was honest, it was accurate, there was no mistakes involved, it was well done, etc. Third requirement is you have to be over 18. Fourth requirement is you have to be a person of quote-unquote good moral character, which is an important piece for our conversation today. All right. Fifth requirement is you have to meet the physical presence requirements, which there are several. But the main question is, have you ever left the U.S. for any period longer than 6 months? All right. If so, talk it through with a lawyer first. Make sure that now is the time to apply for citizenship. Sometimes you got to wait a little longer first. Okay? The sixth requirement is you have to take and pass a basic English test. There's some exceptions. Seventh, you have to take and pass a basic history, civics, government test. And then finally, you have to be willing to swear loyalty to the United States. Those are the requirements to become a U.S. citizen. All right? And so now this question, right? Can I become a citizen if I have a criminal record? Well, the answer, as is always the answer, as is very often the answer with complex immigration law questions, is that it depends. All right, can I become a citizen if I have a criminal record? It depends. What is that criminal record and when did that criminal record happen? Okay? The good moral character period for citizenship looks back 5 years. All right? And so that's important to know about. If everything related to the crime was over and done a long time ago in the past, it might not cause a problem at all. There's basically 4 types of crimes in the citizenship context. All right, basically 4 categories of crimes. One, there's crimes that basically don't cause much of an issue in your case. All right, that's best case scenario. Maybe it was a petty offense. Maybe it happened more than 5 years ago. Maybe it doesn't really cause much of a legal issue for your eligibility for the case. The second type of crime are crimes that cause a challenge for quote unquote good moral character. All right, maybe you were on probation during the last 5 years. Okay? Don't apply if you're on probation right now. It won't work, right? But if you were on probation as a result of a crime within the last 5 years, you might still be eligible. You've just got to show that you're rehabilitated. You've got to show that you're a person of quote unquote good moral character. If that's a thing weighing against you, you might need to show other evidence in favor of your case. All right? The third category of crimes were growing in severity, seriousness, as I'm talking. So the third category of crimes are crimes that could make you, quote unquote, deportable. Okay, watch out for those. Sometimes it's still okay to apply for citizenship even with crimes like that, especially if you have, particularly when you have a backup plan and when you understand everything involved and you're like, hey, no, I want to get resolution here. You know, if they're giving you a hard time every time you travel, or if the best advice is to not travel because of the criminal offense, sometimes it is wise to apply for citizenship and get resolution so that you can get this thing over with and you can, if they're going to put you into removal proceedings, then you can fight for relief in removal proceedings. Strategies like that, talk them through with your lawyer. Finally, the fourth type of crime in the citizenship process, or what I refer to and what the law refers to as quote unquote aggravated felonies. All right? Aggravated felonies make you both deportable and ineligible for waivers and ineligible for options when you're in immigration court, with certain exceptions. You know, there's 212C cases and stuff like that. So often it's like you don't want to file for citizenship with an aggravated felony, with a few exceptions where it's like, okay, really talk it through. You will want to be very well guided by an expert, by certified specialists, by people that are really competent in guiding you through those types of cases. I've won cases in that context. But you want to be cautious about proceeding if you have that type of crime. Okay? Yes, just because I've won cases in that type of context, often the best advice is don't file for citizenship if you have an aggravated felony. So that you just want to be aware of that. Depending on a lot of things. All right? So let's go, even if it's a petty offense, more than 5 years ago, that will not affect legally your eligibility for citizenship, it's still going to come up, right? And you will still need to go get the certified court dispositions from the court where it happened, from the county. You got to figure out, the way to do this is we run your fingerprints through the FBI so that we know each of the hits that show up, right? And we can send you to each of those courts to get the certified court dispositions from those courts so that we can submit them with your case, all right? And so that your lawyer can give you good advice. The big warning, all right? Sometimes the citizenship process can be risky. And I've seen it where a person applies for citizenship without understanding the risks, and they end up putting themselves into deportation proceedings, right? Any crime that is a quote-unquote deportable offense, it's like the number one thing to watch out for, okay? But it's not just that. Immigration fraud, marriage fraud from the past, all of these issues can come up when you're going through the citizenship process. So lawyer, what do I do? All right? What do I do? What a question. Well, when there are crimes involved, when there are doubts involved, right? It's like if you have a green card, you're thinking of applying for citizenship, the best advice is to proceed with caution. You want to first request and review all of your records, all right? Especially when there's crimes involved. You want to first request and review all of your records. You want to do that with an attorney. And you want to receive the advice of your attorney. Hey, attorney, given this situation, what are the risks? How would we prepare the case? Is this a case that's winnable? Should we apply now? Should we wait, apply later? Like, what's the best advice? That's what lawyers are for, okay? And then decide whether or not to do that application. Let's take it one step at a time, right? And of course, the first step to even doing that is typically as easy as a phone call, all right? Reach out, book a consultation, let's get you the advice you need, okay? That's the way it is, all right? Now, citizenship is awesome, all right? And right now, the citizenship process has taken 8 months or less, but the benefits of citizenship, it's like you got to stress them, right? You got to stress them. You got to push through and go for them because the benefits are enormous. You can work any job. You can take advantage of the U.S. embassies and consulates while you're traveling overseas. You can never be deported, all right? You can leave the U.S. for an indefinite, for years and years and years and still return without issue, all right? You can petition for spouses and parents and fiancés and children and siblings, all right? You can vote. You can participate politically, all right? The benefits are enormous. And so, anyway, keep that in mind. If we can help you, if my office can help you with that process, hey, we'd love to help you with that process, any part of it, all right? And to do that, just give us a call. We're here to help. We'd love to help. So let's see. Let me get into your questions. If anybody has asked any questions. Let's see. Alec B., as always, great to see you. All right. Thank you for being like a loyal regular here on my show. I really appreciate that. So your question for me, if a green card holder through marriage, and if the marriage process was legitimate and everything was disclosed and things like that, can they still apply for an N-400 if there's a criminal history or criminal and aggravated felony? Charges for trafficking, dismissed, no plea, all right? Would that cause issues with a naturalization case, or would USCIS ultimately grant citizenship because everything was disclosed and reviewed prior to the grant of a green card? Really, really good questions. Review this very carefully with your lawyer first, all right? Review this very carefully with your lawyer first because aggravated felonies, they cause deportability, all right? They are a problem, and so you don't want to go into, in theory, if it was disclosed and you were still eligible for a green card when you got it, in theory, it was probably already waived somehow, or in theory, it was probably not a quote-unquote aggravated felony. Otherwise, how did you get the green card? It's possible that the green card would have been issued in error, right? All of these things you want to look over very, very carefully, proceed with caution when you're in that type of situation. If it was waived, if it was taken care of, if you're 100% sure that, hey, maybe you won your green card through the U visa and the U visa waived the crimes and now you're applying for adjustment and now you already got your adjustment, now you're applying for citizenship, you should be okay in that situation. You should be, all right? But it's really proceed with caution, talk to your immigration lawyer carefully to make sure that you understand any risk that's out there before filing your case. Anyway, Alec B, I hope that's useful. Hope that's helpful. Great to see you on here. I see a question also from Jemima. Jemima, good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. You're asked, can you apply for another green card when your case is pending in court? Well, that's interesting. Can you apply for another green card? You're saying that you've got a green card already, but they've already put you in immigration court? If that's the case, there is a way to do what's called a readjustment. All right, and that's where you had a green card in the past, or you have a green card right now. We're going to cancel your green card right now and apply for a new one. That sometimes is a strategy. It's uncommon, all right? Typically, if you've got a green card and you're in court right now, no, don't apply for another one. Instead, fight for your green card right now, okay? Don't give up that green card if you've gotten it already. Absent some very, you want to make sure that that you've got good advice before giving up a green card to file for a new one. Okay. Yes, it is possible. Yes, it can sometimes be the way to go, but often, if you've got a green card already, fight to keep it. All right, fight to keep it. Often use the readjustment strategy as a plan B if the judge has denied plan A. All right, Jemima, your question, where are you located? Thank you for asking that question. We're located in Oakland, California, and we have clients throughout the United States. All right, we have clients internationally also. So we can help people wherever you're at. It doesn't make a difference. All right, one of the great things about immigration law is that it is federal law. And so because of that, we can represent people in the immigration court system throughout the country. Okay? Cool. Cool. Thanks, everybody, for asking your questions. I really appreciate it. So if anybody else has a question, feel free to submit it. In the meantime, let me share my empowerment tip today, and then we'll wrap up here. So my empowerment tip today is about fear. All right? Fear is always going to be there. It's always there. All right? And courage means that we face our fear. We take action despite our fear. And, sometimes, not always, but sometimes an immigration case requires courage. Courage to review the past. Courage to really look and see what the immigration officers wrote down from that day in the past where there was some encounter of some kind. Facing the truth about what happened sometimes is not fun, all right? But having the courage to face it and to move through it, it can lead you towards the goals that you have, all right? Fear is always there. Courage means facing your fears, and it's like sometimes your immigration case will require that courage. Have courage, all right? Even if it's just the courage to pick up the phone and make a phone call. Have the courage, go for it. Don't let fear stop you in your tracks. Your life is worth it. Go for it, okay? That's my empowerment tip for today. Hope that's useful, hope that's helpful. Okay, I've got another question here from somebody with a name with a lot of X's in it. So thank you. All right, thank you for being here. You say that someone you know with a green card was convicted twice for possession of marijuana while driving in the 90s. Then it was vacated in 2022. However, for his N400 interview, he was asked about what happened. And he was driving people, and the cops pulled him over, and they found marijuana. And then they charged, they charged that person. Is that a bad response? Well, is that a bad response? I don't know enough. I don't know enough about the specifics of the situation to be able to say that, all right? You'll find out if it's a bad response or not, depending on the decision or if there's a request for more evidence or whatever on your case. The fact that it was vacated is a good thing, all right? And anyway, yeah, and you could, hopefully you had a lawyer help you at the interview. If you have a request for evidence or if you receive a negative decision because of this, then talk it over with your lawyer. If you want a second opinion about it, feel free to contact my office. We're here to help. We'd love to help. Okay? So, whether or not the description was a quote-unquote bad response, hey, if it was honest, often honesty is the best policy. Sometimes you don't want to say too much, but I don't know exactly the way the question was asked, exactly the way the question was answered. And ultimately, it's water under the bridge at this point. Wait for a response from immigration. If you're nervous about a response from immigration, request FOIAs to get copies of notes that happened during that interview. If you want that, we could help you with that. Alec B., thank you for saying what you said. I always appreciate your being here, so thank you. Sara Uleboyo, hello, good afternoon. It's morning here, actually, West Coast time, 10:30 in the morning here. But good afternoon to you where you are. Thank you for being here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for being here. If this was useful, if this was helpful, please type in land or home immigration in a YouTube search and subscribe to our channel. When you do that, if you could also just take another millisecond and click the mouse, click the button on the notification bell, then you'll receive a notification whenever we upload additional videos with additional updates and news so that you can stay informed, all right? And that is the best way to receive the updates that our office is sending out when we have additional updates and news and explanations for how immigration works and how the process is going, etc. And if you have an immigration case, hey, please give us a call. We are here to help. We would love to help. All right? My name is Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration A.P.C., where we fight for your American dream. If you speak Spanish, and if you want to watch this same episode in Spanish in just a few minutes, we'll be back on live in Spanish in just a few minutes, so join us then. And if not, hey, thank you so much for joining. We'll see you next time on our next episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.